I gotta mute myself on the other one. All right, look at that. We should be live now. Hello, everyone.
I may not have muted us on the other one. It may be real bad. Nothing's happening. Still waiting.
Okay, I think mine says it's ready. So hopefully let us know if y'all can see us or hear us. We'll pull a Brooke and say, can you all see us? Can you all hear us?
It's now I'm getting an ad, so we must exist now. Yep,
good. Okay.
Yeah, back to my face.
All right, look at that. Everyone's here. Everyone's here. Hello. Hello. See and hear. We're doing good. So
we exist.
We do. So for those of y'all who don't know, I mean, welcome to AUTHORTUBE CHAT. This is something that Jess and I do every month. We pick a topic, we chat about it, and then as always, we eventually devolve into talking about other stuff, usually books, TV, stories in general. And today, specifically, we will be talking about the book that Jess was holding in front of her face. Yes, that was our book club pick. So we'll wait until like kind of the end-ish in case you were not doing the book club with us. But I'm excited. I cried a lot. I know Jess also
cried a lot.
Felt so many things. So
all the things.
Hello. All right. So also for those of y'all who didn't know too, since it is an AUTHORTUBE chat, there will not be any sprints, but we will be talking about Camp NaNoWriMo.
Yes.
Yes. So that's how it works. That's what we're called. Perfect timing. There will be no sprints, but I know other people are doing sprints tonight. So
I know the Courtney Project is doing some tonight at a bit late, like 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think.
Yeah.
That's the one I know off the top of my head.
Yeah. And
Wednesday is kind of a slow sprint day, I think.
It might be, yeah, especially because Brooke shifted to Fridays. So
Brooke shifted to Fridays. So let me look and see. It is the middle of camp though, so there probably are.
I'm sure there's. I know the actual NaNoWriMo website, their YouTube channel did some earlier this afternoon. So,
listen, I'm not gonna lie. Marissa and Emily are doing live sprints right now.
There you go. Yeah.
Becky Elliott. So if you don't care about our chat, you can go watch their live
exactly. We will not be offended.
If you have work you need to do, please go do it.
Yes. Which actually, this is a great time to mention that today I am not writing at all in my Camp NaNoWriMo project. Today has been my write anything story day. So I've been not doing any story. I started a new one, kind of technically brainstorming it. So, but I'm happy to talk about camp.
So today was your one day a month that you're not working on your camp story.
You got it.
Or your main story.
Our main stories, yes.
Because you're a cheater.
Because I'm a cheater. Because I recognize when my goals that I set for myself aren't going to work the whole year, but I still want to pretend that they are.
I mean, it's fine. Words of the web. I don't know where your comment went, but my live sprints are Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yay.
Caitlin Duncan. Tomorrow night is Kevin and Laura.
I was going to say, will you be joining them in person or just in the chat?
Just in the chat tomorrow. Okay. We're not hanging out for 4.5 hours again like last.
That's what I never know.
Me either, obviously, because that was a random 4.5 hours. Like we planned like a normal 2 hours, and we were just like, oh, we don't have anything else to do. Let's just keep going.
Why not? Yes. Well, that's what. Hi, Heidi. So Heidi said, spent a few hours in the garden today to find inspiration. I like that.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
You do. Well, that's what I wrote outside with Duke today, and that was it was really nice here in Texas. It might not be nice anywhere else.
Magdiel, with Scrivener, I know your trial ends in 6 days. If you win camp, you typically will get a coupon code to get it for like half price.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that. Also, a lot of the like free trials people are doing, they're extending them longer because of people being at home. So you may check like their main website and see if they're doing like an extension on the trial.
Yeah, look at you.
I've seen a lot of companies that are doing that, like their free trials. They're either extending them or allowing you to do a free trial a second time. Like if you've already done one in the past, like a year or so ago, they're allowing you to do it again.
Yeah, that's what I've watched some extra like HBO shows and stuff too. I know they're doing that for free on some of them. It's like, just watch, you're home.
Just watch whatever.
So this is a good time. I want to follow up with Nick's question, but Jess, how is Camp NaNoWriMo going for you?
On Sunday, I was caught up, but I haven't wrote anything this week. So I'll probably get caught up this week. And again, I don't write a lot during the week.
Yeah.
So Thursday is typically my writing day and then the weekend. So I'm about, well, today's Wednesday, so I'm 3 hours behind.
Okay.
Which isn't horrible.
No.
So, last Saturday, let me find my Saturday, even though I slept through a large part of the sprints that I wanted to do Saturday.
Yeah.
Great day. I slept a lot. I did 178 minutes on Saturday and 112 on Sunday.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So, and the Saturday before I did 120 minutes. So I'm doing like at least 2 hours on the weekend. So I'm keeping caught up, but not like in a row.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It does. Yeah. I think that's fine. I think the stair-step method almost works better for some people anyways.
How are you doing?
I am, minus not writing today, I'm doing good. I was on track solidly because my goal is I did 50,000, but really the goal is to get this draft done because it's a revision draft. So I'm slowly getting to the part where I will have to write more zero draft words again, which so far I've done really well. I was just kind of revising and stuff. So it'll be fun to kind of bridge the gaps. And I think that because I did so much prep, I'm hoping that it's all going to be pretty easy because as of right now, I still feel like my outline is right, which is good. Sometimes I don't feel that way. Most of the time I don't feel that way. So
I haven't actually really done anything. Like, I know that sounds horrible, but literally what I have been doing so far is taking all of like my old world building.
Yeah.
Figuring out what I need to keep, what needs to go away, adding in all of the new world building, and then putting everything into Campfire that I need.
Yeah. So
I've gotten like one character, like I've gotten all the character pages built.
Yeah.
I've only got one of them filled out. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've got the magic systems filled out, but I still have to fill out like all the world building.
Yeah.
So, but I did at the beginning of the month, the very first thing I did was fix my plot structure. And I did that, and that's like waiting in Scrivener for me to get back to it to write. My plot structure is good. Now I'm working on my people and my place and my magic. And then everything's got to get shoved together.
Yeah. I think that's great, though. I'm glad the plot structure still feels like it's going well. This was so close to the freaking nerd fighter symbol.
I can't. This one's really dumb. Like, it doesn't.
Just
the one side doesn't separate laterally, it separates horizontally.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Slowly.
Hi, Becca.
Yay! Hello.
Yes, spirit fingers.
Oh, wow. See, Azure Studios says world building is my favorite part of outlining. Jess, since you're doing it in segments, have you found that any one particular segment you like better? So like the world building versus the magic system versus the plot structure versus the characters. I know they all have to come together and they all feed off each other, but.
I think in this redo, the magic system has been my favorite thing to figure out.
Okay.
In other stories, though, I've had stories where the world building has been my favorite thing to work on. So it just depends on the world.
Yeah.
And, like, not that I don't like this world and it's kind of a throwaway, but the magic system has been the most fun because it has like 4 main types of magic that then can all break down into other types of magic.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can see how that would be really fun, though. But also, I don't know that I'm ready to write anything that requires me to come up with my own extensive magic system. Like, I give all the kudos to all the fantasy writers out there that do it.
Well, in the 4.5-hour chat that we had on Sunday,
yeah.
I discussed with Laura and Kevin that, like, even though I feel like the second this book is done, it's going to like be put on the shelf and not touched for a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the hardest thing that I have circulating in my brain. So if I can do this, I can do anything.
Okay.
So just like get this to where it's like, I would, when I'm finished this time, I'm going to let other people read it. Yeah. Obviously, but it's going to like just go on the shelf for a while and chill. And so I can work on other things that aren't as hard.
Yeah. That is an interesting strategy. A strategy after the fact, but I do like it.
Yeah, strategy after the fact.
Yeah.
Just like, once I do this, I'm going to be awesome. So,
yeah. Fun. Yeah.
Thank you, Becca, for...
Becca's with you. Oh, I like Ainsley's. I love outlining, but I also realize if I outline too much, I'm too satisfied with the story. It feels too done, and I lose motivation to write it. Looking for the happy medium.
Yeah, agreed. 100%.
I can completely feel that too. I say as someone who never outlines so thoroughly, but like in my head, I feel like that would happen.
I try not to plan the end of a story because if I know the end, I'm not happy.
You know, it's so interesting because I feel like the only things I ever know in a story starting out are the very beginning and the very end. Like, I always have those. And it's the middle that I have to figure out how I get myself to the end. But, like, that's what I got.
And that's how most people work. And I do have one story that I know the end of and nothing else. Like, I have to figure out why and or how it gets there. Ooh. For the most part, I know like the beginning and a good part of the middle, but the end itself, I don't really know. Because if I know the end, I don't care.
That's what we all have our different ways to write and to motivate ourselves. That's what Benjamin says. World building is often the first thing I do when I start a story in the new world. I then write some short stories in the world to see how the characters will interact with the world. I like that as a tip. I do like writing short stories from the different characters' point of views, but that's more so that I can learn about the characters rather than learning about the world. But I guess
you could do both.
You could do both. It's all very interesting.
You could learn both things.
Yes. Well, that's what. So I forgot who asked it. I'm so sorry because I did move off of it. But I'm curious if anyone else is feeling a little bit of a slump.
It was Nick.
Nick. Yes. Thank you. Look
Nick something. I just remember Nick.
In your memory that I do not have.
Don't ever ask me to remember anything else. That's the one memory I have.
You got it. That's what you've used it and it's done. Thank you, Nick. I usually feel a slump somewhere around day 10 of NaNoWriMo, and then I think it lasts me until around day 20 or so, 22 even, and then I'm back up again. I'm not feeling that this time, and I don't know if it's because I've put less pressure on myself for camp after last NaNoWriMo's experience or what, but yeah.
I think I don't feel slumpy this time. But I also think that it's because I'm not trying to make myself write every day like I was before.
Yeah.
Like during camp is the worst for me because like I know I can't reach the goal. So I just like set like a goal in my brain and I either reach it or I don't.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just I just don't feel, well, I don't even know when the last time was I updated the website. It may or may not be right because it's that website and I hate it. And I'm in like 3 groups, but I don't ever open any of them.
Yeah.
Sorry to all the people that I'm in groups with. I am a loser.
I saw someone ask somewhere if we could discuss the NaNoWriMo website. Yeah, I'm seeing lots of.
Yeah. How are y'all feeling about the new website design?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit frustrated because while I like the idea of seeing everyone's notifications in the chats, what happens is that you end up with like 217 if you have a group over like 8 people, it's just all the updates if people are updating. And then it's just so much that I don't like. I did say that I like some of the graphs that we have, the digital ones, but like that's it. I'm just, yeah. And I feel terrible because NaNoWriMo is literally a free organization. Like I donate to it. I love the organization. But
absolutely.
I'm so mad.
I just, how did they take 2 websites that worked so well, merge them together, and make nothing work?
Yeah.
Cabin stats was great. It's camp. We don't even have a cabin. We're a group.
I know, it doesn't feel the same.
And Aaron, super awkward when you update too much. And and I'm that person. Like on last weekend, I did the sprints with Courtney, like the middle of the night sprints that were like 4 hours long. I was up till 4 a.m. And after every sprint, I updated my stats on the website. So like I know that some poor soul is getting like 83 updates from Jessica that they don't want.
Yeah.
It's just, there's no cabin stats. There's no cabin. I don't think it shows you the progress either, does it? Like it used to show, like, I haven't been on there in a week, so I don't even know. I can't tell you when last time I was in the group. But it used to show you like the progress of each person on the side panel, which was great. That's fine. I don't need like the whole thing. I don't need to know everything they're doing. I'm not a stalker.
Yeah, it's so much. And then for me, it discourages conversation because none of us want to check the messages now anyways either.
Well, because there's 300 messages and 295 of them are updates.
Yeah, and you have to scroll through and it's just a lot. And also, and I could still be the dumbest person ever, I know the little update button at the top of the website, but to actually get to my stats and see them, I feel like I have to go in a really weird roundabout way. And it continues to freeze up on me still.
You click My NaNoWriMo and then hit stats.
I'm okay.
2 buttons.
Yeah, so it's not as hard as I'm doing it. I think I go in like a 6 button.
It took me forever to figure it out because you used to, when you would update, it would immediately take you to your stats page.
Yeah.
And it took me like a bajillion tries to realize that you just click My Nano and then stats and it takes you to your stats page.
Okay, I'm not. That makes sense. Look at this. It's literally rotating. Nothing is working right now. I'm trying to pull it up and it's not. Because what I do is I click on my project and then the progress and then you have to go down and then do,
That's what I was doing too.
Okay, My NaNoWriMo stats. All right. I can take that off my complaint since it was
off your complaint.
User error.
User error. It's fine.
Yeah. 2 buttons.
2 buttons. To be fair, I am the one that typically knows those answers. So, but I don't know why I'm the one that knows those answers. Like, if you could just tell me.
You're just so smart. That's what it is.
Like Kate's been going through projects and goals or something. You're not wrong, Charlotte. And we were all doing that in the beginning. I want to see what the last time was someone actually made a comment in the group that wasn't. Okay, so there's a couple of happy birthdays to Becca last week. So 5 days ago, last Friday was the last time there were any comments. and there's only been like maybe 10 since the beginning of camp.
That's what we are not having it.
It's like, and the comments are like, I don't like these badges. This site is killing me. Why does this look like this? Like, our group is great.
I mean, and I feel so bad because, like, again, I love NaNoWriMo.
Right.
But I just, it's fine. It's fine.
It's like, I can't do, like, I can't do it. Like, how is it? To me, it functions about as well as the Goodreads website.
Yeah.
It's backed by a multi-quadrillion-dollar company. So that makes no sense.
Yeah.
At least Nano is a nonprofit. Jesus. Oh.
Thank you, Littlest Pineapple. You're right. That's true. I can criticize something that I still love.
Yes. I love Nano so much, and like I never reach a goal. Like it's not a thing I do. I'm not a goal person. I like the community. I like all of these chats that we get to have with you guys. I think that aspect of it is fun. I like the little badges. They're cool, but like, can we get a badge for updating for 30 days in a row? Can we get a 50,000 badge? Like, the goal is to get 50,000 words, and I can't even get a badge for that? What's the point? I'm stopping at 40,000 or whatever the last one is, because it's the last one I'm getting a badge for. That's like, that would be like guys Ghost Tree games, and you have to get your $2,000 items, but the last item you have to get, but you don't get anything for it.
Yeah.
Nothing. It doesn't count. You have to run an extra item in the 2 minutes.
I mean, I love that you're bringing the
The weirdest reference right there. It was the first thing that came to my brain.
It's excellent.
I am on a tangent.
No, we're good. It needed to be talked about. I agree with Heather here. I feel like we lost the community with the new site. I get lost in the forums. That's what the forums used to be, one of my favorite parts. I would visit them year round, and now I don't even touch them.
Becca has a 50,000 badge. What the heck?
Maybe it's the 30-day one, because I'm pretty sure they still don't have 30 days of updating.
Oh, it's the helmet.
Yeah.
50,000. I'm not that smart, Becca. I wasn't looking for antlers. Okay. Got it. By 50K.
Lord, if I ever hit 50,000 during Nano, I want to open my front door to aquarium balloons and celebratory cake.
I would do that for you, but we're not allowed on planes right now.
Yes, otherwise we would travel to you.
Right. We would come to you. And Kate would bring the balloons and I would bring the cake, because we all know that cake can't bake stuff. It ends badly.
I mean, yes. It'll taste good. Like, you know.
Oh,
we've learned about me. I feel like all this stuff that we've learned is just like, you try. I do try.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. I'm gonna have to like find. Well, that's not true, because you bake great cheese bread.
That is my one thing.
You can bake cheese bread.
That's true.
You only need one thing.
Yeah, that's true. It's also the easiest thing.
I mean, not necessarily the easiest, because Becca had to do it once.
To be fair, I think Becca didn't use the right equipment the first time.
That's true.
It's a little bit like, it's easy, but it's particular.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
It's like baking a souffle. You have to like be nice to it.
Look at that. See, they might not turn out the prettiest, but if they make you hungry, that's what we need.
I mean, that's the goal. I'm not gonna lie. I have been talking about making cookies for weeks. Like, I even have the butter out on the counter, like waiting.
Ready.
And I went to the bulk supply store the other day and just bought like a giant tub of cookies and was like, here's your cookies that I was gonna make.
Yeah.
Because I don't care to bake right now.
That's what I saw on your Instagram story. Your cousin, was that right? Got
you
a cookie. And I've just been sitting here and I'm like, I want to make I want to make cookies. Oh, I made a cute little souffle pancake today. That was good.
All right.
Didn't turn out exactly like it was supposed to, but it was good.
I was at work today and there was a knock on the door and a blonde ran away. And there were 2 packages of cookies outside the door that said Love Holly on them. It's from my
That's
cousin.
the sweetest thing.
Her and my aunt, who I work for, go to the same gym. And because the gym isn't open, they're all like driving to each other's houses and leaving stuff in each other's mailboxes and like as like a I miss you presents and stuff. So
yeah,
it's been a fun time.
No,
we tried the whipped coffee thing that's going around. No, I have not.
I tried to do a matcha version of it. It was amazing. But I don't have instant coffee.
Me either.
So I tried the coffee version, and I don't want to buy it just to make that because I don't really like instant coffee. So I'm over here like, haven't been in the store in a while either. So
we're making people hungry at 1:30 in the morning.
I know. The perfect time to eat. What are you talking about? That's snack time.
Snack time. It's time for first breakfast so you can have second breakfast later.
Exactly.
Oh, stop dancing. Now I'm going to dance more. I'm bad at it.
Let's see. Yeah, see? Some people can be. And then you're 11sies. That's right.
I usually have 10sies because I have breakfast at like 6:30 and then like a snack at 10 and then lunch at noon. But it's
yeah.
Little Caesars pizza. Gosh, people have pizza. Gosh.
I see all this food really is.
Nerdy Nanny's gonna go make nachos.
Yes.
I mean, I'm gonna have tacos for dinner, but
ramen, nachos. Oh, tacos sound so good too.
Every hour is food hour.
This is facts. Straight facts.
Still the only food I have in here though is Christmas kisses. So back on topic, or
yeah, should we talk about Camp NaNoWriMo again? Do you since we're both kind of on track, do you have any plans to change up what you've been doing so far for the next half? Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I don't know if I'm gonna get done with what I'm doing. I don't know if these character profiles and the world building is going to carry me through the month or what the case is going to be, but I'm just going to keep working until it's done. And then when that's done, I have the next few things that I need to do on my Kanban board. So I'm prepared.
How long have you been doing the Kanban board now?
This is my second quarter.
Can we chat about that real quick? How's it?
The first quarter was an experiment because I wasn't sure what I could complete in a quarter.
Yeah.
So this quarter, I'm doing pretty good so far. Last quarter, my issue was like I put like all of the stuff up that I wanted to do, and it was just very overwhelming. So instead, like I have a list in my planner of like all the things that I want to get done this quarter, but I'm only putting up like the sticky notes that I know that I could do within like the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
And then once those are done, because I'm still experimenting to see what I can actually get done in a month, because or in a quarter. I don't know, because I've never worked quarters before. So it's all new.
Yeah. That's what. Hi, Courtney.
Hi, Courtney.
She will be, we were talking about your live later. So if y'all do want sprints, and you will be up. I don't know how many hours from now technically, but that is
3.5 hours from now, I believe.
Okay.
I thought it was 11 my time, but I actually think it's 10.
Yeah. So I think you should be able to click the little dots next to her name and then go to channel. I think that works. Anyways. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, someone talking about, oh. There you go. Jess, will you ever show the full Kanban board?
I mean, sure. I have to find it, but
We want to see it. We want to see it.
It's this guy.
Woo! It's so pretty too.
Oh, hi, Sky. Do you want to see the Kanban board? Oh, anybody want to see a puppy?
Yes.
Hi.
Woo.
Hi, what are you doing? I'm showing the internet our Kanban board. Okay, go play. Yeah, Kanban board. Easy. The blue is my YouTube goals, and the green are my writing goals, and the pink are my reading goals.
So many reading goals. This is one of the reasons we decided to do the book club, was in no small part to get to read more, because Jess reads so much. And so I feel the responsibility. She encourages me.
I finished my 30th book yesterday for the year, not for the month. I'm not that crazy.
I mean, 30 for the year is still so impressive to me.
Oh, crap. I hit hide instead of show. I'm a horrible person. I can't show it. I'm sorry, Kim Loom. I deleted your comment.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I deleted your comment. I tried.
I do see. That's so funny. Oh, Pupper. That's okay. Let me see if I can. I was going to try and share it. It was cute about the puppy.
It won't let me bring it back. I hit hide instead of show. Oh, I'm fired.
Also, we all love your jumper. Oh, this is a question I have for you, Jess. I've been wanting to know. Are you going to do the stay home reading rush? You have a lot of stuff you're planning, which we'll talk about at the end of the stream, but
no. I have so much stuff going on that I'm trying to get done, and the weekend is like my only time to actually work on stuff. So I can't take out time for reading right now. Like, the only reading I'm doing is like audiobooks. I have a couple of physical books that I'm trying to read. I'm trying to read Beach Read by Emily Henry because I got an early copy of it, so I'm trying to read that and review that before it releases. But I'm trying to do everything ebook or audiobook right now because that's not very nice to call my puppy ugly. That's rude. That's also the person that told me to stop dancing.
okay.
You're extra rude. Puppy. It's ugly.
There's no such thing as an ugly puppy. Also, yes. Okay, so the word stock event has been going on. I think my video will not be going live until Saturday, but I did see that a lot of them were posted today for the first part of it, and the story detective has been helping to organize that, which has been so cool. So anyways, y'all should stock. Let me see. That's what Kim's cool.
I'm sorry. I just deleted.
I did see. I'm gonna scroll back because I saw also. There we go. What are your current reading projects? I've been on a big Agatha Christie kick lately.
I am currently reading Wake by Amanda Hocking. It is really old. It came out like forever and 300 years ago.
Yeah, I might even have that book.
You might. I have. I only own books 2 and 4.
Uh-huh.
1 and 3. Don't know why. But it's like I couldn't decide if I wanted to read them or not. There's some things I'm clearing out that are things that I'm doing an unhaul this month, basically, is where I'm going with this.
Ooh.
So I was like, well, I'll just listen to the first one on audio and figure out if I actually want to read the other 2 that I have. And I'm liking it so far. So I'm like quarter in.
Yeah, that's what I've been posting about it. I've slowly been making my way through Mistborn. I just got to part 3. So that's what I'm still reading now that I've finished my book with Jess. Also, Courtney, I'm so curious, a challenge for reading books with titles A to Z. So it's like, that would be such a cool idea for like the whole year. Is that what it is? You go like A to Z. How does that work? I got questions.
Like, is it the first word?
Yeah. What? Or you include A in it. Okay, me and Maia both.
Megan asks if you have any ebook recommendations. I don't read ebooks. They're not my jam. I don't know if you have those or if you read those or not.
I only read ebooks from my library, usually. Although I will say someone else's question was if anyone's felt their reading being affected by the quarantine and everything. And I do think I've noticed more and more people are turning to ebooks right now. Or just like understandably not reading as much, which I get that too. But I use the Libby app in conjunction with my library, and that is so helpful. And I do genuinely enjoy reading on it. So, sorry, Heidi. I do. I won't show you the books that I've actually like physically written in because I do that too sometimes.
I am a writer-inner, but I am not a dog-earer.
Interesting. Why that distinction, I wonder?
Because a bookmark will tell me where to start reading it again.
Yeah.
So I don't need to dog ear. But writing tells me my thoughts and feelings. And the bookmark can't tell me that.
That's true. I also lose stuff. So anytime I've attempted to use like a bookmark, it inevitably disappears.
Fair.
Look at that. Yeah. And Courtney Project. Courtney uses receipts.
Okay. I have like a literal stack just like sitting right next to me right now.
Yeah.
From like Harry Potter, Book of the Month, my local bookstore, Wheatberry, that I have like a billion of these. These are typically what I use. I also have like note cards. This one's like a Susan Dennard one.
Ooh, pretty.
And this is just like what's sitting at my desk.
Right
like 3 million of them. I have a whole container of them over on my TBR cart. So I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of things. That's right.
Cool. Mia, what is this? NaNoWriMo? Have you heard anything about that, Jess?
I don't know what that is.
It sounds fascinating. I'm very intrigued. I might have to Google it later. Oh. I did not mean to click on your comment, Taylor, but I also spent all my money on books.
Paper clips, also good.
That's smart, yeah.
I have like those magnetic ones. I use those sometimes. You know, found a sock as a bookmark. That's brilliant.
Was it like a little baby sock? Or like, I mean, if it works, it works.
I mean, someone just said NaNoWriMo writing while running a 4K.
I know, that's what makes sense to me as much as anything else that NaNoWriMo might fit.
I'm not running a 4K anywhere.
You're like, I'm out.
Let alone running it and writing at the same time. It's not happening. So I'm out. Whew.
Let's see. Oh my gosh, Charlotte.
The Bobby bookmark.
Yes.
You're not wrong. Oh, golly. The one box we lost to remove was a box of most of my novels and a lot of my writing bookmarks. Yeah, you're gonna need some more bookmarks and writing books and your novels. That's not good.
No, those are very important things. Having a NaNoWriMo in which people write in different genres of words printed out. Someone contact Nano with that. I'm just saying, all of these sound like great ideas.
Other books as bookmarks. Oh, that's great. I also sometimes just use like junk mail. Speaking of junk mail, I just found some mail that I should probably mail that is like bills that I owe.
Those are important. Yes.
Just put that in my purse right now.
Let's see. Polly asked, do you feel more or less productive during the self-isolation lockdown? Jess, you are still working.
I'm still working, so life has not changed for me in the slightest.
Too much, yeah. And having, since I usually work from home, I alternate between being just as productive, and I do think some part of me is slightly less productive occasionally, just because it feels very weight of the world-esque sometimes. So,
I mean, the only thing that's really different for me is like, me and my two best friends, we try to get together like once a week and do stuff, but because one of my friends is a nurse and she works third shift, so a lot of times it just doesn't happen. Like our work schedules and our life schedules don't match up. So yeah. I mean, there are times where we go 3 or 4 weeks without seeing each other, so it's not that abnormal.
Yeah.
But really, that's the only thing that's really changed. I mean, I'm going to the grocery less often. I'm buying more at one time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think there are other things that I'm doing that are making me less productive with camp reading. So the cat is stepping on my keyboard. So if we all die, it's his fault.
It's so cute.
This is not the normal cat either. It's Fitz. It's not even Merlin.
No.
I don't know what he's doing other than
a little gray tail.
Showing his butt to the internet.
Yep.
Pretty much it.
That's what Becca would say. That's what they love to do.
I don't understand it. It is so weird. Hey, what are you doing? Hello.
Yeah. All the love and appreciation for our nurses and healthcare workers.
Here's the demon spawn.
Oh my gosh, so pretty.
He's a demon. Hello. This is the one that pees on everything in the house.
Wow. Slightly less cute now, but only slightly.
Right. He's a jerk. Surprise attack cat. He will run across the house to attack you and climb up your body. And he's the one that perches on the back of my chair.
Yeah.
And like, stares at me.
So cute.
Yeah.
Do we want to see if anyone else has any other Camp NaNoWriMo questions? Because otherwise, we will transition into the book club portion. But also, again, as usual, Jess and I are capable of talking about
anything for any amount of time.
Yeah. So,
Valeria, that cat is Fitz. He's named after Agent Leopold Fitz from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I was going to name him Loki. And I was like, no, he's too sweet to be named Loki. And he is Loki. Like, that should have been, like, I still to this day am like, I should change your name.
Yeah.
He's so sweet. And yet, the devil.
Yeah. You were right the first time.
I was right the first time. And then Merlin, wherever she is, the usual cat on the stream is, I thought she was a male cat. And I named her after Malcolm Merlyn from Arrow, who is the villain, because she was angry and like you couldn't pet her. She was wild. She was crazy. Also, why we thought she was a dude. And then, you know, we found out she's not a dude. And so now I have a male or a female cat named Malcolm Merlyn. It's fine.
It's amazing.
That is what happens when you name a cat after John Barrowman, just in case you're wondering.
Yes.
That's what happened.
Jess, how do you feel Camp Nano versus November Nano?
I prefer camp over regular just because I can't actually hit a goal for regular camp, or for regular Nano. I always say regular camp. What is that?
I knew what you meant. Also, we're requesting campfire reviews since I've heard you wax poetic about it.
Once I learn more, I will absolutely do that. I have only been using it for about 3 weeks, so I don't know a whole lot yet. Natalia Lee has a video on it, and there's someone else too. I think Daniel Green has a video on it as well.
Is he mostly booktube? Just, I'm trying to think if I have the right person.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He talks about his writing sometimes, but
Okay.
he is primarily booktube, and it's primarily like adult fantasy genre. He has like, I think he finally hit like 1,000. I don't know. He hit like some big number like a week or so ago.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I was just thinking.
He's from my state. He goes to my favorite bookstore in the whole world. There's a bookstore in Columbus, which is where he lives, and it is just like, it's an old house that somebody turned into a bookstore, and it's been there forever. And it's just like crickety hallways, and just like the books are like the shelves are slanted, and you have to like, it's a maze. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it, but I live far away, so
that's a Marina. It was iced tea, or it was unsweet tea, and I had frozen raspberries in it. So now I just have the raspberries to eat. It was real good.
Yes, Aaron, the Wheel of Time guy.
What a way to be known, though. I mean, that would be great.
I need to read the Wheel of Time. I feel like it's necessary.
I still think I need to try again, because
at least the first book, and I have heard that it's not a plot-driven series. It's like it's the characters, and you have to read a few books to get invested into the characters.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I
saw Erica asked if either one of us have written a novel one way, and then decided that it needed a major rewrite in a different way. And I think the answer is yes. That's what just talked about that before, but like it happens to me.
Everyone does that.
Yeah,
everyone.
Okay, that should actually be like a writing rite of passage. Like that's something that all of us must do at least once, if not multiple times. My Camp NaNoWriMo project this time, I was actually trying to figure out which way it needed to be written, because I'd done it one way and I knew that was like, I switched around when I was writing it. So yeah. Janie wants to know, Jess, if you would ever do daily NaNoWriMo or Camp Nano vlogs.
No.
You do a lot of videos, though, it should be stated. So it's not like a capability. It's just
I am not a vlog person.
Interested. Yeah.
I cannot. I can't. I've tried it. I can't do it. It's not my thing. I can't figure out how it works. I don't know how you do it so well. I can't vlog.
Also, to answer the other part of the question, I don't know if I'm going to do it again this November. I think it's going to depend on where life's at, because I've loved watching other people's Camp Nano daily vlogs this camp, but I know that I could not do that this month. Like, it is just not in the cards. Oh, goodbye, puppy. Oh, hello, cat.
We traded a dog for a cat.
Aww. That one's Berlin.
I am considering doing like Vlogmas or something of that sort, because I can like just plan a video every day and not have to do a vlog every day.
Yeah.
I could do a live stream every day, but I cannot do a vlog every day.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Like I can't. It's not my jam.
Amelia, it's definitely worth starting it all. I don't think you need to want to publish in order to start an AuthorTube channel. And I don't think that needs to be on the horizons. Like,
no, not at all.
And you want to talk about writing? Perfect.
Yeah, I think, especially like you're talking to two people who are not published and who are
anytime soon,
various stages of possibly publishing. Who knows with us?
Yeah.
I don't think that we've discussed before the great deal of, in the beginning of AuthorTube, there was a discussion on whether it should be AuthorTube or WriterTube or WriteTube, because not everyone who you can write and not be an author, but you can't. I don't know how that distinction works, but basically,
yeah,
AuthorTube is the one that's stuck. But I think it's really a community for anyone
who likes
to write or just likes writing. I think even if you are just an avid reader and you are like to study like the way books are done, even that would be, I mean, someone who reads a lot might have better insight into how to write a book than someone who doesn't read at all and hasn't studied writing. So,
yeah.
Thanks.
Of course, I love Lauren's channel, but she says starting an AuthorTube channel was probably one of the best decisions I made. It's so much fun. Yeah, and like clearly, Jess and I, had we not started our own AuthorTube/booktube channels, would not have met, and that would have been such a bummer. So,
as we have realized, we started at the same time.
Yeah,
very, very close.
What did you call it? Best internet friends?
Best internet friend for best internet friends.
Yeah.
When you're trying to explain to someone that you're like talking to, like, I'm talking to my friend on the internet, and they're like, oh, so like when are, like, no, it's my best internet, it's like my friend, like my best friend, but we're on the internet. It's my best internet friend.
It's perfect.
It is what it is. See, Megan, I laughed. I was going to say BIFs, but I feel like that's like one of those like MILF or one of those things where the F word rhymes with.
Do we know what it means?
So we're not sure if that's one of those terminologies. So I'm just staying away from that for now.
Just best internet friends.
Best internet friends is fine. One of my musician friends that I met a bajillion years ago on MySpace and then like went into Twitter. She always calls us her BTFs, her best Twitter friends. So
yeah.
We could be BYFs, best YouTube friends.
Yeah, we'll come up with something. It'll be fine. Do I have a planner system to plan my writing at all? Looking similar to Jess's planner. Jess's planner and planning is amazing and inspirational, and I will never achieve anything like that. My brain does not. I have Excel spreadsheets though, mostly because that way I can cut and copy and paste, because I will inevitably go off schedule. I think I talked about that in my AuthorTube AMA video, and I put the actual spreadsheets on the screen. So yeah, I have a system. For the actual writing, it's a similar kind of thing. I have a system, and I have been collecting data, but it's not super organized.
And I haven't, you know what, we were talking about, I film a lot of videos. I filmed 3 videos this weekend, and I have not edited or uploaded anything all week. Nothing.
Yeah.
Just being worthless over here. I mean, I've missed Monday. I'm probably going to miss Wednesday too. It's fine.
This is exactly why you don't tell people when you post videos, because then they can't, it's always a surprise.
Always. Well, it's not, that's not the reason. The reason is because, oh gosh, I'm like, what is happening? The cat is laying on top of a keyboard. And so like my screen's going crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's more because if I don't, then I will never post a video because I'm horrible. I would love to see more male authors on BookTube and more people that don't look like this on BookTube. And they're definitely out there. They're just harder to find because they're not as popular.
Yeah. And there's a whole discourse worth having over that, and has been had. BookTube talks about that a lot.
Yeah. And I think that obviously someone who I think male booktubers and authortubers can do well. Daniel Green is an example of that. So I think that if you get someone out there that is doing it, I don't see why you couldn't. DR Ranger Writing, love Danny. He's great. He doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but his channel is great. He's hilarious.
Yeah. He's so funny. And the Story Detective, he's been organized.
Story Detective. Mm-hmm. I believe the gentleman that was on with Danny and Charlotte is I had it and then it left. Kent Sean, does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
I think that's right. If Charlotte's still here, she can tell us. He's a dude who does AuthorTube, and he is very much like not into the internet-y part of AuthorTube. Like he's here for the AuthorTube, not for like the YouTube aspect of it.
Yeah.
So there's definitely people out there. You just have to search a little harder. Charlotte and Kent Sean. Yeah. I subscribed to his channel the other day, but I haven't watched anything yet because I haven't watched anything yet from anyone for like a week.
Yeah, I'm very behind on stuff too. That's what I'm ready to binge though. Catch up on all my daily vlogs I've missed from people.
I have like 300 videos in my watch later, and you know me, I normally keep it under 50.
I was gonna say, you usually do good, so.
Yeah, it's been bad. So just busy. It's fine.
I'd say Google is your friend. I found that YouTube videos, so like in this context, I would just try and find animators on YouTube, and then you can watch some of their videos, and that's helped.
You can also try to, excuse me, if you know someone who's an animator, or if you know someone who knows someone who is an animator, a lot of people like to talk about, this is going to sound vain, a lot of people like to talk about themselves. Hey,
Yeah.
we're on the internet. But a lot of people, if you tell them like, hey, I'm writing a book about this kind of a character, and I would love to just like talk to you for a few minutes and get your opinion on some things. A lot of people are, I mean, they may say like, I don't have time right now or what have you, but they may also just say yes and talk to you for a little bit about some things. And that people typically, especially people on the internet who, whether it's someone with like a Twitter or an Instagram or a YouTube channel, we're here because we like to share our lives with people. So we would share our lives with you.
Yeah, I actually, one of the things that's on my list to do still for Camp NaNoWriMo is reach out to some of the local PIs. Obviously, this won't work since like social distancing and isolating and stuff, but at some point, I'd want to like see if I could maybe shadow someone. And so I've been thinking about emailing one of the local ones and being like, hello, I have questions, help. So. Oh, that sounds cool. Checking out Outline My Career. I haven't heard of that.
Awesome things.
Yes, I will make note of it. All right. So, Jess, do you want to talk about our book club pick of the past 2 months, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid?
So yeah, if nobody wants to be like spoiled for this book, I mean, please feel free to run away.
Now's the time to go. Also, don't watch my video because I forgot that I definitely spoiled the entire thing and I didn't put a spoiler notice anywhere. So
she's a horrible person. It's fine.
I'm awful. I don't follow booktube like standards. I should get better about that. But
well, I think you are typically an author tuber, and author tube is you're typically dissecting.
Yeah.
So like you expect it.
Yeah, that's what I only spoiled most of it. Yeah, that's exactly why in my head I didn't even think about it. I was just like, let me talk about the book as I'm reading the book and say the things about the writing that I like and also the story that I like. And so, yeah, sorry.
Also, I was reading it and I was like, okay, I kind of have to know what's going on. I told Kate I spoiled myself. Like I was like flipping through looking for something and I was like, oh man, I just spoiled myself.
Yep. Yeah.
But I still cried for like the last 80 pages of the book. So.
Thank you. I was saying the last 75 pages, I was just a mess. So, okay, we're starting the spoilers. It's happening now. You had your minute to leave. Freaking everyone died and it broke my heart. And Harry.
Oh my God, Harry. Why? Like, what? First off, Evelyn did not deserve him.
No, she really didn't.
Second off, oh my God, why? Why would you do this to me? I did read the audiobook via audio. I mean, like, I know I own the physical copy, but I listened to it via audiobook. And I'm like, I think I finished it. I finished it last month. I'm sitting here like trying not to cry. Oh, yeah, it was rough. It was real rough. Yeah, when Celia started talking about being sick, I was just like a snot ball.
I had to physically stop reading because I was like, I'm not in a place that I can do this right now. I was like, I need some time because I knew it was coming. I knew it was about to happen. And it's just because you realize when she mentions Celia that she is about to lose everyone else, because that's what she said at the beginning of the book. And so I was like, oh, this is the down. This is it.
And see, I cried so, like, this is the thing. I probably never would have picked up this book if it was not for finding Chelsea Donning Reeds and Julie at Pages and Pens, because they were the ones that started the contemporary-a-thon, and that's when I started reading contemporary. I have never been a contemporary read. Like, very, very rarely have I ever read contemporary. It's not my jam. So I had to, like, buy books when I started doing the contemporary-a-thons because I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
And so this would not have ever have been a book that would have ever made it on my radar. I mean, I heard people talking about it prior to that, but I was like, I don't really care. It's a contemporary book. Who cares? But through realizing that I liked contemporary, I was like, okay, everyone said that one was really good, so I'm going to have to read it. And then you guys picked it, and I went to read it.
Which we're appreciative of, because this is one of the things that booktube has been real hit or miss for me. I'm actually going to say it's been more miss on the hype. So if a book gets really hyped on booktube, what usually happens is that I don't actually like it that much, or I definitely don't think it lives up to the hype. This is like the exception, where it was truly as phenomenal as everyone was saying it was. But also, I don't think I would have picked it up had I known it would have made me cry as much. Like, that's my thing still. I don't know that
I don't want to say I hate books that make me cry, because I read a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I don't go into it expecting that.
Yes.
So my thing was like, I don't know. It was so much better than the last pick, not gonna lie. Yeah. So much. So much better than the last one. And I read it pretty early last month too. So just, oh God, that last book.
Yeah, that's what I think I think this book is going to be in my head for a while. I did see someone in the comments told me that it's good as a reread also. I honestly think it might be worse as a reread, knowing what's going to happen. And just, I don't, again, my heart, my poor little heart.
So like, I have a rating scale.
I was going to ask about your rating. Yeah.
So my rating scale, like a perfect, I base my rating off of the cover, characters, plot, pace, writing style, and enjoyment. And it gets a bonus point if it makes me cry. This book got the absolute highest rating, which is a 5.25. It is the perfect book. Like, it is there is nothing about this book that I would change. Nothing. Yeah. Not one single thing that I would change.
That's when I made a note in my phone that, like, the biggest criticism I had was that I wanted to skip over the Monique chapter, but literally that chapter was the one where it was beginning to tie it all back in. And I was like, oh, so the second I felt like, oh, I don't know that I care, I was like, oh no, I care. It was perfectly paced, perfectly plotted.
The thing that I said about Monique was like, Monique is us. Monique is the us that is sitting there learning through the story about Evelyn, all of the good, all of the bad, still loving her, and learning from the shit that she did, teaching us things. Mm-hmm. Like, Monique was the us in the book. Yeah. And I feel like the story, even without like the whole plot twist of like the car crash and the dad and all of that, I feel like even without that, I don't know that the book would have been as good without Monique, because that's also where Monique started changing into kind of a badass, the new Evelyn, if you will.
That's what we needed to see, her learning from Evelyn, taking control, like telling her boss that this is how it was going to be, telling Evelyn that this is how it's going to be. The way she dealt with her husband and the divorce, like, I think we needed to see all of that. And this is why it's so confusing to me, because it feels like a feel-good book if you take out parts of it. Like, it destroyed me, so that feels like it shouldn't fall under that. And yet the growth that we see in Monique is so, like, uplifting, and Evelyn's such a badass, and, like, it's just, it was so.
I sent you something, I think, at one point, like a quote. There was another where I think one of my favorite things about the book was Evelyn talking about the difference between being heartbroken and being disappointed.
Yes.
Like, there's a huge difference between being heartbroken that your relationship is over and being disappointed that it failed.
That you failed. Yeah.
And that is, like, so, and obviously you can apply that to anything that you fail in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just is so well done. Like, so well done that it just, like.
Well, and that's why when I was first reading, I don't know, the first maybe 40 pages or so, there were several times where Evelyn's just saying this hard-hitting stuff. And at first, some part of me was like, it felt shoehorned almost. Like, except that at the end, I didn't feel that way at all. Like, all of it made sense, and the lessons we had been taught.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. It should be also in the description of this video.
I didn't want to interrupt you while you were talking, so I figured I'd show the book.
No, you were good. On the relationship of being sad versus disappointment isn't really represented in contemporary expression. Yeah, there was a lot in here that I felt like we didn't take the easy way out. That was something with Evelyn in general. She didn't take the easy way out in things, but it also felt like Taylor Jenkins Reid didn't take the easy way out and, like, the life lesson kind of thing either. Like, it was very real.
It was very realistic. And I think, like, a lot of times in books, especially with older characters, and I think it made me think about, like, my grandparents. Because, like, my grandmother was married 5 times. Mm-hmm. And she did eventually marry someone when I was born, around the same, they got married around the same time my parents did. And, like, she was with him until she died a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. But for, like, my dad and my aunt's childhood, she dated a lot and she married a lot.
Yeah.
And so it made me think about, like, I always had, like, this perfect vision of my grandmother because she's an old lady who was nice and kind. But, like, what kind of a person was she? Like, was she an Evelyn Hugo in her younger years? Like, you don't really know how someone, especially with the elderly, because not all elderly are nice, but, like, the elderly that are in your life, you don't expect them to have that kind of a backstory. So when you see it, it's like, it makes you think about, like, the old people in your life.
Well, and it helps to, we saw what everyone romanticized Evelyn to be. And then we saw the realistic version of that. And I think it is, you can apply it to your real life too. Like, it's easier for us to romanticize people and ideas and concepts when they're not actually that way when you get down to it at all. So yeah, it's just fascinating. I did like all of the inclusion of the, like, newspaper articles and the online gossip magazines and whatever. I thought it broke up the story really well when it needed to. And yeah, it was just always fun to see the reflection of, like, this terrible thing Evelyn might have gone through, or a great thing, and then the spin that was done. It was just very cool.
It was, every time I think about poor Harry, poor Harry.
Harry was so cool. That's what I think it was maybe the second scene we saw him in, and I was like, well, he's my favorite. And I
was like, from the very early on, it was like, I love Harry. He's great.
I love Harry. He's amazing. And then you learn more about Harry, and you're just like, wow, he's even better. And then you keep learning, and then just seeing, oh God, his story's so sad. God. Anyways.
One of the points that I made in my review and in my wrap-up video, which I need to edit and upload, was what I took from the story is not just that the book is supposed to be about Evelyn Hugo and the love of her life, which was Celia. Mm. But I also think that when you look at it from the viewpoint of the platonic love between Evelyn and Harry, it shows that like the love of your life doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It can be a friendship. It can be someone, because in reality, Harry knew more about her. He was the one who was always there for her no matter what. Like, those two had a very tight relationship, whereas her and Celia had a very blow-uppy type relationship. Yeah. Until Celia got to the point where she had limited amount of time, and then she like suddenly turned herself around. But Celia wasn't a great person.
She wasn't great either. Yeah.
I didn't love Celia. Like, she wasn't my favorite character ever. But I understand why she was written the way she was written, and that's why she's fine. But yeah. I think for me, the book was more about the relationship between Harry and Evelyn than about Evelyn and Celia.
Well, and I think at some point she even mentions soulmates to Harry, or is that wrong? I feel like at some point they actually talked that through almost.
I believe they did. And that for me is like one thing that I have always tried to do in my book too, is focus on the relationship between the two lead females versus their love interests, because in my own personal life, like my best friend, I feel like is my Harry Cameron. Like, she is the person that I tell everything to, that knows everything, that and so like she is my other person. So I try to focus more on that because I haven't had a lot of romantic relationships, so I don't know how to focus on that necessarily. So
that's what the platonic intimacy is so important. I love all the comments, how a lot of us feel the same way about Celia. Like, that was one of the things I said in my blog, was that like Celia didn't get it right about like, oh yeah, and Evelyn, you're bisexual, until literally the very end. Yeah. And I was like, it's good to see the growth. We got there finally, but like, oh, hello kitty. But it wasn't until the end. I did want to point out, let me see if I can find where it is. Okay, Littlest Pineapple also. And someone else said it before too. I didn't think of Evelyn as unlikable either. I did think she was deeply flawed, but she had the grace at her age later, since we're seeing it all from her backwards perspective, to like call out her own flaws or own it. And like Celia talked about this, where it's like she was never apologetic for how she was. So I found her flawed. I didn't find her unlikable though. Even the terrible secret she kept, and like the way she lured Monique, and like why she did what she did, I still didn't find her unlikable.
I think that like there's something about the fact that she told Monique from the beginning that like, I want to tell you the whole story, and I'll tell you everything I need to tell you, and I will tell it in the order that I need to tell it to you too. And at the end of it, you're going to hate my guts.
Yeah.
Like, she told her from the beginning exactly what was going to happen. Yeah. And have that much forethought to know everything.
Well, yeah, I think that's so great. This is my best internet friend.
Yes.
Admired Evelyn. She was truthful. She was truthful to the people that she needed to be truthful to. Yeah.
Jennifer said she couldn't really get into the book. Harry was the only likable character.
That's so interesting. We love hearing some like disagreements or like different opinions.
Yes.
Because clearly, compared to like last time, this one by both Jess and I is totally a gush fest.
Yes, absolutely. unlikable is the wrong word, but I could not find an accurate word for it. I think, yeah, I didn't love Evelyn, but I definitely respect her.
I feel like that's potentially a better way to, I don't know what word would fit there, but yeah, I'm with you guys.
I think that in her younger years, I definitely understand why she did what she did. And I can't say that in her situation, I wouldn't have done the exact same thing, because I probably would have. And the only thing that I feel like, I think the car crash is the one thing that, because not only, I mean, she could have told the family privately without, but I don't know how that would have worked out.
Well, and that's what even Monique was saying. I don't want to say that I would have done what she did, but I can't say that I wouldn't have done it. So
Right.
like, even she was at that point where she's like,
I am that person that never say never. Like, never say that your child would never kill anybody. Never say that you would never kill anybody. Never say that you would never become an alcoholic or a drug addict or whatever, because you don't know what you're going to do in a situation. You know what you think you might do, but you don't know what you're going to do.
one, you don't know all the life moments. That's kind of the interesting thing, is that we got to see all the life moments that led up to Evelyn doing what she did in certain places. But like, that's, you know, the sort of empathy we should attempt to have for other people, because we don't know all the life moments that might have led them up to whatever. And if we lived those moments, would we also?
And I don't, to revert back to that, I don't read a lot of contemporary. I think that Evelyn's one of the first bisexual characters that I've had a main viewpoint of, because typically they are like a side character, unless we're counting Magnus Bane from Shadowhunters, but not quite realistic enough for this topic. But because fantasy doesn't include a lot of not straight people, so I hadn't read a lot of that before, and I definitely enjoyed getting that aspect of it, because it's not something that I have personally seen a lot of. Yeah. I have been trying to get more of it into my life, because I realize that it's something I need to do, but I think this was a very good place to start.
Yeah, that's what Paranormal Pixel, that's the part that I like had to zoom in on while I was still reading, and I was like flying through the end of the book because I loved it so much that I was like, it didn't ultimately matter. And part of that, I think, is that obviously Monique couldn't talk to her father in order to know what he might have identified as, but ultimately that didn't matter. Like, he loved, you know, the people that he loved, and that's what's important.
He loved who he loved, and I do like that Evelyn told their daughter everything. Yeah. I like that their daughter knew the truth. I like that they knew that both of her parents were gay of some sort. Her dad was gay and her mom was bisexual. I like that she knew everything. Yeah. I like that she was told the truth and they didn't hide things from her. And so that, I think, is at least is important, because a lot of parents would hide things like that. And then it makes it harder for the kids.
Yeah. Charlotte, we need more women represented in the same complexity. We get so many male characters that are interesting and have conflict within their personalities. Getting a woman like Evelyn is a gift.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Morally great.
I did not expect to, I mean, I expected to like it, but I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, and I absolutely did love it.
It blew me away.
Yeah.
Again, I think I doubted the hype also. Yes, and so sure. For it to,
Well, and I think like there's a lot of hype for Daisy Jones and the Six as well, which is a Taylor Jenkins read, and everyone talks about loving it, but I haven't talked to a single person who enjoyed the book. Everyone enjoyed the audiobook.
Oh, that's
like if you wrote a book, but to be enjoyed, it has to be listened to, then you didn't do it right.
I think that too. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Yes, Paranormal Pixel. The audiobook for Daisy Jones and the Six is full cast.
That is really cool, though.
I don't think I've ever listened to anything that's full cast. But
you have to be like a big enough author in order to get that kind of thing. So, but I don't think I've listened to anything like that either. I've wanted to. Better as a show than as a novel. See, I'm so curious then. Oh, I did not know.
Well, things I didn't know.
Yeah.
But Mick Reeve is kind of a douchebag, so.
Oh, okay. And then Kristen saying, didn't care for it. That's why it took me so. Okay, so I feel.
I think it was Laura that told me that she's had people either tell her that Evelyn Hugo is like the only good Taylor Jenkins Reid novel, or like they're all good. So my going forward is I definitely want to read more. So I'm going to get them from the library before I buy any.
Yeah.
In case I'm one of those people that hates all the rest of them.
I think that's so interesting, just generally, because usually when I have an author that I like, yeah, I guess if I like 2 books, I assume I like the author then. Not in the same series, but like 2 separate
things, yes.
Or series, whatever. I'm like, okay, so I like this author. But it would be fascinating to only like one-off books, because I always say that my favorite author growing up was Meg Cabot, and even her, which mostly were hits for me, there were still like 2 books that she did, or 2 series that I was like, I do not connect with this at all, and it's just so strange. So that's interesting. There's all different perspectives on that.
Yeah.
It's just the way it's being consumed.
It's just weird to me that
something can be good in one format and not in another.
Well, and that I guess it's because I have the privilege of being able to read with my eyes and not having to rely on audio.
Yeah.
That I feel like a book should be able to be enjoyed if it's read with your eyeballs. But then that goes into that whole, are you actually reading if you're listening thing? And it's all just a hot mess of everything.
That is a tough topic. But I'm with you, because I do compare the experience of books. So like I have had some books where I didn't like the audiobook, but I did like reading the book, with my hands and my eyes kind of thing. So then I'm like, okay, it was good. That's how I do tend to classify it, I think. So yeah.
A lot of times, if I'm really enjoying something, which is what I did with Evelyn Hugo, I will sit here with the book and listen to the audiobook at the same time and follow along with it. And that's what I did for the last part of this book while I was sitting here crying, because I was crying too much. But I was following along with the audio because I was crying and it was a mess.
I do love audiobooks when I'm doing other stuff too. Yeah.
I purchased some wireless earbuds yesterday. Should be here tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
Because, I mean, I do everything now where I listen, but it would be nice to, like, when I'm washing dishes or cooking or doing something in the kitchen that is loud and I can't hear the words from my phone.
Yes. Words from the phone. Game changer, the wireless. Like, this is, again, it's one of the dumb things that I'm like, it shouldn't have made as big of a deal on my life, and yet now I feel free. Anytime I do the dishes, any amount of cleaning or whatever, I'm like, oh, I like it so much more now, because I can just pop in an audiobook or a podcast, and I'm like, look at how great I'm doing. Like, I
just turn my phone on and hit play, and then set my phone wherever I'm at. And it tells me stories.
Yes.
Now, the good thing about now is that I have this Google Pixel and it has a speaker on both ends. So it has like surround sound on a phone.
Perfect. Yeah.
A speaker on both sides. So that's good. Plus it's louder than what my old phone was. But yeah, I was like, I think I want to try doing some wireless headphones. Let's do that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's
I have like 800 alerts on my phone.
Oh no.
Nothing important other than us. Good. We're on there.
Perfect. That's what, when I was on my road trip back in 2018, I realized that I actually could not listen to fiction audiobooks while driving, because I'd be driving for like 5 hours at a time to get to places, and it would make me sleepy. And I could not do it. It was a weird thing.
I listened to the entire first Princess Diaries book in the car on the way to Florida.
Yeah.
Even my mom was listening to it, because we were in the car and I had it playing through the speakers in the car. Yeah. So my mom, who has never read a book in her life, was listening to the Princess Diaries. I mean, she's mostly like playing on Facebook on her phone while we're driving or sleeping, but she heard bits and pieces of it as we were driving. So
I do think contemporary is great for audio while driving. But something about the snappier, like I'm not trying to world build in my head while driving, helps me.
Also, female voices, because men's voices are lower and they lull me to sleep.
Yeah.
That's just a me thing. I don't know if that does that for everybody, but
which can be nice, but also like
not when I'm trying. Yeah. So, I used to have really bad insomnia, and I would listen to Tom Meissen reading Sleepy Hollow. And like I would be just like boom out.
Yeah. Do we have anything else we want to say about the 7 husbands?
Anyone else have any 7 husbands thoughts?
Yeah.
7 husbands and 1 wife.
Yeah. Oh God, what a great last paragraph though. Like,
it's a great book.
Yeah, it really was. That's what because I'll have read so fewer books than you, it'll be easier for me, but I think I'm gonna rank the books I read at the end of the year, and I imagine this one, if it's not number 1, it'll probably be top 3. It's so good.
I think this is the only thing, I don't even know if I've got another 5-star this year. I mean, I guess I probably have. The only other 5-star I've had this year was Capturing the Devil, which was a Carrie Maniscalco final book in a series. I probably inflated it because it was the final book in the series that I love. But everything else has been like 4.5, 4.75, which is still great. I've had a lot of duds this year.
Oh, has it helped you figured out what you don't like? Like, is there anything you've noticed a pattern where you're,
no, I don't think that there's anything that I don't like.
Okay.
I think I can like anything if it's done in a way that I like it.
Okay, so it's just, a couple one-off choices. Yeah. That's amazing. I read the physical copy of 7 Husbands by Evelyn Hugo first, and I was shocked. For that book.
I heard a lot of people say that they thought that it was like a memoir, and that they thought that it was like a real person, because it is done so well.
It's done so well. Yeah.
Which is like the highest praise that Taylor Jenkins Reid could probably get. I
think so too. Also, Caitlin read it at the beginning of last year and it stuck with her. So
I think that it's going to end up on my list of rereads probably every year.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite book that I reread all the time is A Semi-Definitive List of Worst Nightmares, and I didn't rate it 5.25 because it's not perfect either. But I feel like this was like the absolute perfect book. Like, I very rarely rate anything that high, and when I do, it's typically like an inflation because it's like a favorite book in a series. It's a favorite series, and I give emotional inflation. I try not to, which is why I have the rating scale that I have.
Yeah, but
it happens.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I did see someone asked what the next book club pick is. So for those of y'all that have been with us, for each of these AuthorTube chats. Basically, the way we're doing it this year is that 2 months are on Jess's channel, then 2 months on mine, and that way you also have 2 months to read the book club pick. So we won't discuss the book on Jess's channel until June, but we can tell you what the book is. Announcement time.
2 months to read it. So the next one is on my channel, isn't it?
Yes. So May and June.
May and June are both on my
channel. And we'll pick topics.
We'll pick topics because we do that.
Yeah.
But the second one on my channel will be book club chat. Book club. Also, we did the same thing we did last time. So last time, the 2 top books were
A Discovery of Witches
and Evelyn Hugo.
Yeah.
And so we did one and then did the other. And this time we had 2 that were very close as well. So I let Kate pick. They're both rereads for me. We're only going to tell you what one of them is now. You have to wait 3 months to know the other one. But they're both rereads for me. So I let Kate pick which one she wanted to read first. And so, yeah.
So if y'all know anything about Jess and you remembered potentially or voted in our polls for the 4 options, this should not be a surprise, as I have picked a favorite, and it is Truth Witch.
If you live in the UK, it may look like this. If you live in the US, it's going to look like, that.
Yes.
She's over there.
I am so excited. I'm going to say I love Susan Dennard, and I haven't read anything Susan Dennard, but I think, speaking of badasses, she's a badass, and she's one of the few emails that I look forward to. She has so many great tips and tricks on writing and industry advice, and she's very open and honest about numbers and all the work she did in order to this series the success traditionally published that it was. So that's what we're excited about. Love the UK. Look at that. Grace is 50 pages into it already.
Grace is ahead of the times.
Yes.
So this is one of my favorite series of all time. I absolutely love the world building. Not everybody loves it, and I'm okay with that. I didn't love the first book when I read it either. I thought it was extremely predictable. So if you're reading the first book and you feel like it's extremely predictable, you're not wrong. But the thing is that as you continue on in the series, there are things that happen in this book that have a lot to do with stuff happening later on that you never would have thought had anything to do with anything. And so it's amazing. The series is awesome. There are 4 books published currently, and the 5th book will be coming out in 2021. So
we are very excited.
I'm very excited to read this book for the 5th time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I'm very excited to read it for the first time. This has been on my list for forever because Jess has talked it up.
I keep pushing it on people.
Yeah, so she's succeeded. Now we're all gonna do it together. It'll be great.
Yeah, so we'll try this one. I think we probably should tell our friends what this book is about.
And someone has read it before, so she could definitely do that.
In case anyone is interested and they want to know what this book is about. It's considered a YA fantasy. I would consider it more of an adult fantasy, but that's just my thing.
I think it's classifications, yeah.
It's considered a YA because the characters are YA age range, but it deals a lot with society issues, politics, kingdoms in turmoil. It has to do, it starts off with a group or a world where there's been a truce for a long time. I think it's been 20 years. And the truce is starting to get to an end, and they're deciding if they're going to re-up the truce or if there's going to be a big war. The 2 main characters are Safi and Isolde. They are best friends. Safi is a badass. She's an Evelyn Hugo character for sure. She's a badass. She's morally gray. She's kind of a crazy person who just runs in headstrong to everything. And Isolde is very loving and calm and is also a badass, but she's a secret badass. So there's a lot of sword fighting and ships. Sea Battles, which is battles on the sea.
Again.
You should know. It's a really great magic system. So, I mean, there's a lot. It's a lot. It's a whole heck of a lot.
I'm ready. And they have, the test with fantasy is always if you like the map on the inside. This is my dumb test for fantasy, by the way. I don't know that this is a universal test, but it's my test. And I like the map. So I'm excited.
Does this one even have a map? Yeah, there it is. I'm like, I don't know if this one even has a map.
Does your map look the same? It should look the same.
Yeah, it's the same map.
Okay. I was like,
yes, it's the same map.
If it has a big pirate vibe, I'm even more excited.
There's pirates. There's 100% pirates.
Yes.
There are, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot. It is a pretty popular book. Let me rephrase. People bought a lot of them, and a lot of them ended up at Book Outlet. So you can get it really cheap on Book Outlet, okay? Or because we're in a time of turmoil, you could order it from your local indie and support your local indie bookstore, which is what I highly recommend. I purchased I have 4 copies of the 4th book. Yeah, I have 4 copies of the 4th book because I have the UK cover edition, the new US cover editions, which I also should probably show you those just in case you're getting like the new one. I don't know if I could reach it.
You can do it.
I just moved these above my desk. This is the new US cover edition, so you may find this one instead of the one that Kate had. So I have that. I have the original. Yeah, I have a lot of covers. I have 3 full series of this book. It's fine.
Lots of books. Yeah.
Would I say the 4th book is my favorite? I mean, I own 4 copies of all of them. 3 copies of all of them. So I forgot that I pre-ordered it from my local indie and then pre-ordered it from a book box as well. So I ended up with 4.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Becca.
But yes, the 4th book is amazing. The 3rd book is considered a 0.5. It is a novella that the publishers don't necessarily include as part of the series, but if you don't read it, you're going to miss a lot of what happens in the 3rd book.
Publishers are so weird sometimes.
Yeah. A lot of people that are like in the UK, they didn't publish Sightwitch. Yeah, they didn't publish Sightwitch in the UK. So like people that live in the UK have to buy the US edition.
Wow. Yay, look at this. All right. I'm so pumped. So
yeah, and the series is called Witchlands. That's my bad. I always say the Truth Witch series because the first it's a thing that we all do. It's the Witchlands. It looks like that or like one of these. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
So.
Yay. Well, all right. I think that's it. We do not have the date picked out yet or the time picked out yet for next month's chat, which again, the actual book club discussion will be the month after that. You got 2 months to read it. So yeah, we don't have any of those picked out, but follow Jess. I do have her channel linked down below, or follow me, and we will of course be announcing them as things go along. So
if the world doesn't end first.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for chatting with us, both Camp NaNoWriMo and 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And we will see you guys next time.
Yes.
Yay. Bye.